today. We will wait few minutes. Okay, so at the rate component is purpose is to create the object. Component scan is to find the class. So first component scan only executed, and then component is executed. So the points you have to remember: in case of annotation configuration, and you want to tell Spring Container to create the object, your class must fall under given package or sub package, and it should contain at the rate component. Then only object will be created. If anything is missed, it is not going to be. Okay. If your class, that is actually Spring Bean, if your class, that is actually Spring Bean, present under base package, okay, same package or its sub package. If your class, that is Spring Bean, present under base package and having at the rate component, okay, that is actually stereotype annotation, having stereotype annotation, okay, then container creates object to your class. That means if your class not in the base package, then it is gone. Object is not created. Okay, or if it's not having at stereotype, point number 1 should be success, point number 2 also should be success. That means your class should follow these two rules. Your code should follow these two rules. Okay, must be under this one package. Okay, yesterday one student asked, sir, what is the difference between this one and this one? So understand here, first one is to find the class by using a package. Second one is to tell to create the object. Okay, now let us continue the concept of at the rate value annotation. Okay, so yesterday I just gave only points for working with at the rate value. Okay, so at the rate value is to do field injection, provide data to variable, that is also called field injection. That's called field injection. We have seen yesterday hard coding means direct assigning values. Okay, at the rate value mostly used in real time to read the data from resources properties. Okay, lot of people ask, sir, why you give direct values? Why can't we take the values at runtime? Remember, don't think that every data will come at runtime. Okay, some data will come at before compilation, means that hard coded value, direct data. Okay, that's runtime data. Okay, we will be having directed data or hard coded data, runtime data. Okay, for example, let us take a Facebook application. In the Facebook application, if you want to log in or register, once Facebook application is created, that means application started. Okay, application is running under server. The URL is given to end user. Are you getting the point? Then end user will register at runtime. Okay, so that is actually end user data. That's actually to register and log in. We are going to give some data that's actually runtime data. Okay, or this directed data you can also call compile time data or before compilation. Okay, some data will be given not at runtime. Some data should be given to run the application. For example, there is a database. I want to connect with Oracle database. Will end user give database details? You are using Facebook, right? Did you give any time? Okay, facebook.com, okay, dot database dot URL dot like this anytime you gave? Someone who developed the Facebook, they gave, right? So it's a programmer data or directed data. Runtime data is actually called end user data. Okay, directed data is nothing but actually programmer data. Okay, so here data is actually two types. Programmer data, DB connections, cache configuration, email configurations. Okay, it is. Okay, end user data, you are register and doing login. Okay, posting some data, posting images. Okay, doing some likes, sharing data, share, comment. Okay, this is your data. Understand? Okay, here the point what I just want to tell. So here data can be runtime, data can be a direct data or programmer data. If you look at properties file, XML file, YAML file is used for this purpose. Okay, so I want to give some data so that application will start, application will run. Once you start the application, then end user will use. Okay, then how runtime data will be given? Runtime data will be given using forms, registration form, login form, comment form, payment forms. Okay, forms and some static links. When you click on some links, it will automatically submit by using some URL rewritings and all. Mostly forms. Okay, are you getting the point? Registration is a form. Login is a form. Your typing comment is a form. Or some interactive components. If you click on like button, okay, that's actually on click. Some events. Okay, mouse events, on click, on double click, on left click, on right click. That is also some type of data instructions. Okay, so understand, today I am not concentrating on this runtime data. That will come later once we go to web MVC or REST web services. Now today I am using at the rate value. The annotation purpose is to provide some data to the variables from properties or YAML that is actually going to indicate programming data or data which is needed to run the application, to start the application. Hope you're getting the point. Okay, I'm just giving the same point here. Okay, why we are using dot properties files or dot XML file or dot YML files here? That's a question. Okay, answer. Data, some data is required to start application, like database connection details. Okay, JPA, that is called Hibernate configuration. Okay, email details, email configuration, admin email. So if you send email to who will actually send internal admin configuration required? Okay, some security configuration, some etc. Okay, some configurations required to start the application. Okay, such data is given using properties XML or YAML. Mostly properties, and of course YAML also. XML almost zero, we can also call. Okay, so here why are we using these files means to provide programmer data or application data or direct data in simple. Okay, how can we pass runtime data? By using HTML forms that we come to later. Clear so far? Okay, now let me write one small example. I am using @value. I am using @value to read the data from properties file. Okay, now you have to understand one more point. Dot properties file will store data in key is equals to value format. Okay, dot properties file will store the data in key is equals to value format. Okay, keys are case sensitive. Uppercase different, lowercase different. Keys are case sensitive. Okay, so if same key repeated multiple times, with duplicate value, different value, then last combination is taken. Something like ID is equal to 10, ID is equal to 20, ID equal to 30. Last value will be taken. Don't write duplicates mostly. Okay, symbol hash indicates comment in properties file. Are you using properties file symbol hash, then it's actually called comment. Okay, that's actually comment. Okay, you can use underscore, okay, dot dot symbols in key name. If you are writing a key name, you can use underscore and dot. Of course, dash also you can use. Okay, so mostly dots are used. Okay, so in case of YAML, colon will be used. Okay, let me take one small example and I'll show some annotations required. Okay, one is creating the properties file. Second, loading the file into Spring container as a memory. Third, reading the data from Spring container and giving to our variable. Okay, observe very carefully. Let me give the points. Please don't enable your webcam. Look at carefully. First, a physical properties file is present. You can give any name. Okay, just I'm giving here my app dot properties. File name should ends with dot properties, your wish. But once we go to Spring Boot, file name is going to become fixed application dot properties. Now we are learning still Spring only. Once you load this, I have to say, hey Spring container, hey Spring container, please load this properties file. It is having some keys equals to value, some keys equals to value, keys equals to value, some details are there. First you load this, create a memory, and all these keys you load here, whatever the keys are there. You can load multiple properties also. Okay, but let us go with one as of now. A memory is created that is actually called environment. Okay, it's actually interface. I'll show the implementation also. Okay, Control Shift T, environment. Look at this one. Just Control Shift T I used. environment. You want to see its implementations. Okay, I'm just pressing here. I'm just keeping mouse over here and pressing F4, function key 4. Fn plus F4 or F4. That is called type hierarchy. You can see means superclass, subclass, all the details. Okay, there F4, function key 4. Look at environment is a interface. Okay, super type, subtype. I means interface, C means class, A means abstract. Okay, implementation class name is standard environment. You need not remember this. Just I'm showing a shortcut. Remember environment. Environment is a memory created, which is actually interface. Implementation class name is standard environment. You want me to show one more time? Control Shift T. Environment. Press enter. Press F4. Just I kept a mouse here. F4. You can see expand, standard environment. Okay, environment is a memory which will load all the key values. Okay, now the point is I have a class. There I have a variable. For this variable, I want to read the data. Keys are fixed. Whatever you write, your wish, same key you should use here. Value, you change it. While running the application, you change the value. Okay, the same value loaded here and same value will be assigned to here. Now, how to read? Look at the syntax. @value, V capital, uppercase letter, parenthesis, double quotes, dollar, curly braces, key. There's a syntax. So then the same key, based on the key, it will first come and compare the key. Okay, then matching value will be injected to variable. Okay, now the point is how to load this properties file into Spring container. Okay, then we have to use one annotation @property source. Look at the annotation name, property source. This annotation will load the properties file into Spring container. Then Spring container will create the environment memory. Then in the program, you can use @value and give the key. It will compare the key and read the value. Okay, now let me give some points here. Okay, observe. I'm just giving notes. Point number 1, we need to create one properties file with any name. Example, my app.properties. Then add some key value pairs. Okay. Point number 2, we should inform Spring container, hey container, please take this as an input. Load this properties file. Okay. For that, we should use one annotation @property source is used to load our properties file into Spring container. Point number 3. Okay, then Spring container will create the memory. Okay, Spring container creates environment. Okay, if you want to take the package name, org Spring Framework Core env, it's a predefined. You need not to write all these packages. Just for your clarity, I'm giving environment memory means object. In simple, environment object. You know already interface, can we create the object? So internally object is created like this, environment environment is equals to new implementation class. Okay, so I just went here, F4 I pressed, standard environment. Okay, like this Spring container will do. You need not to write, just I'm showing for your understanding. Spring container will create environment object or environment memory. Okay, and holds all key values. Okay, step number 4. If you want to inject data to your variables or dependencies, variables means dependencies, okay, then use below syntax. What is the syntax? At the rate, value, V uppercase, parenthesis, double quotes, dollar, curly braces, key. It will go and check the key and the same value will be injected. It will support even data type conversion also, type parsing, that's actually supports even. Okay, let us cross check, is that correct or not? Okay, we'll do one small program for this. Okay, file, new, other, Maven project. Next, create a simple project. Next, my.app. Okay, Spring Core, properties file ex, version 1.0, and finish. Maven update project, force update, and okay. First, resources. Look at very carefully. Okay, some people creating under test resource. No, wrong. Some people creating class under test Java. No, wrong. Once we go to JUnit, then we create there. Don't use SRC test Java, SRC test resource. Okay, SRC main Java and resource. Right click on resource, new file. Observe very carefully. Right click on resource, new file. This option, use it to create properties file. Okay. Right click, new file, my app dot properties. Okay. This is sample properties file. Okay. I am writing the key. My dot, your wish. You can write any name. It's not like you should write like this only. Okay. Key name your wish, but write some meaningful, that will be good. Okay, my dot db dot some driver is equals to Oracle driver. Okay, my dot db dot some url or dash url, okay, is equals to jdbc colon Oracle colon tin colon, okay, sample, just some dummy data. Okay, my dot db underscore user. Okay, so that is actually abcd. My dot db dash pwd. Okay, just I'm writing like this. You can use dot dash underscore anything, whatever. Yeah, you write a dot b dot c underscore d dash e is equals to 1 2 3 4. Your wish. Okay, but this is the key you can read. Okay, I just wrote some simple example as of now. Okay, so we are going to give this kind of keys only. Once we go to Spring Boot, these keys are going to become predefined. You can't write whatever you want. Keys are predefined. Only values you have to pass. But now I am writing my own keys and my own values. Are you following everyone? You can type yes in the chat box if you're following everyone. Are you following everyone? Okay. So then question, which annotation is used to load properties file into Spring container. The question is, which annotation is used to load the properties file? You can give answer using chat box. Which annotation is used to load the dot properties file? Look at the annotation, @property source. Please observe very carefully. In the middle, I'll ask question. You should give reply. Okay. So here, yeah, that is actually @property source. Always be interactive. Okay. When you listen and give answers to the question, you will learn a bit better. Okay. So this is a file created. I am writing a dummy class that is actually my app config com.app. Like this I'm writing. Generally, we used to write @component scan to give the base package. Okay, there I'm writing the package name is com.app. That means all your classes present inside this annotation based. There itself, you can write @property source. Okay, there I'm writing location here @property source. I want to tell, okay, look at very carefully. Now see here, these are the properties file. Okay, this location, if you remember, I mentioned this is actually called class path. What is that called? Exactly. So here I'm just writing class path colon file name is myapp.properties. Go and search in SRC main resource and the file name is this one and load. See, first annotation will try to find the classes from the current package, app package and sub package. Second annotation will try to load the properties file. Annotations you can write in any order, up or down. You can write in any order. Annotations never follow order. Okay. You can write annotations in any order over a class or over a field. Okay, if that means you can write this annotation wherever you want. No. On top of class, you are writing 4 annotations. Okay, on top of class, you are writing 4 annotations. Those 4 you can write in any order. On top of variable, you are writing 2 annotations. Those 2 you can write in any order. Okay, over a class or over a field. That's what my point here. Okay, now hope you got the point. When you write this annotation, this one is taken. Spring container creates this memory environment and load the files. Now let us try to read the data. Okay, let us try to read the data. Okay, now I am writing a class name. Okay, database connection. Just I am writing database connection private string driver URL username user PWD alt shift S and S to string. Step number 1, I am writing one annotation @component to create the object that is a con. Okay, now look at very carefully. Here, this is a properties file we have. I want to read this key. Okay, that means this value should be loaded into this variable. Okay, so the value should be loaded into the variable. So now I have to write the code. Here I have to write some annotation. Okay, @ and all. So can you please tell me what I should write here? Okay, So I want to write some complete content. Okay, you can type in the chat box. Okay. Okay. So here, so I am writing one annotation at the rate value, parenthesis, double quotes, dollar. Dollar is important. Dollar indicates key and curly braces. Okay. In between curly braces, you have to write this one. This one. No, not Oracle driver, Bindu. We have to write the key name. Okay. So value may change in the future. You may move to Oracle to MySQL, but Java code remains same. Don't write value, write key. Are you getting the point? Tomorrow, if this value is modified, you need not to recompile this code. Are you getting? Actually, hard code is removed. Need not to recompile. Just directly run. Okay. You need not to recompile. Removal of hard coding. Okay. Second, key. Please look at key, not value. Don't take value. Take key. Using one annotation, at the rate value, parenthesis, double quotes, dollar, curly braces, key. Look at. Hope you understand. Now everyone give answer for the last one in the chart box. Everyone give your answer in the last chart box. I just want to see. Don't sit silent. Give everyone answer. Okay, what to write here at line number 14? What to write? Give answer using chart box. Involve. I know majority of the people are completely busy. Once you go after this class, you have a lot of works. Okay, so there are few people who will be having completely busy in their life. Okay, one is Narendra Modi and second is you only. I can understand. That's why I'm asking you to learn some points in the class itself, some important things. Okay, so greatest to busiest people. So please give reply. At the rate value, dollar, curly braces and key. Okay, now this is. Okay, see if you look at this annotation is loading the file. This annotation is actually reading the data from the Spring container. Okay, let me finally test this. So test class same, just wherever you create, not an issue. There you can write bean, no problem. It should be under base package only. If you look at base package, calm.app dot sub package also okay, calm.app also okay. In the test class, there I'm writing main method shortcut main control space enter. Okay, application context AC. And you have to pass the my config. That's actually config. A class which have these two annotations should be passed as an input dot class. Some people actually wrote double quotes for this. No, it's a wrong one. And they are saying it's not working. No. Without double quotes. XML file, you need to pass double quotes, not here. Okay. So then AC dot get bean. I just want to confirm whether object is created with the data or not. Okay. So it's object OB. You need not to downcast. Dynamic polymorphism is applied. OB and run this application. Are you able to see the data? Actually, this data is from properties file. So let us change the data. Okay. Let us change the data Just I'm writing Oracle driver. Let this be same key. I'm writing 2 times. Okay, my SQL driver. Go to test class and run this program. Okay, we can write duplicate keys. It's actually not a good approach. You have to better comment and write it. That's a good programming. By mistake, you write. It's actually a wrong way of writing the code. But if you write, it is saying, hey, fine, I'll take the second one. Okay, so I gave that point also. You can see here. Okay, if you want to, not here. If same key is provided multiple times with the different values, then last combination is taken. Okay, now I'm writing, let us see. I am writing my dot, okay, db dash pwd is equals to sample. I'm writing like this. Now look at old value is Raghu. Now new value is sample. Let us run this application and see. Can you guess what is the value will be? What is the value? Why? I wrote key, right? Check it one more time. Are the same keys or different keys? Look at P and P. Okay. So actually, second here you can see keys are case sensitive. Uppercase different, lower case different. Okay. So observe very carefully. Here I wrote actually lower case. Here I wrote uppercase. That's why these are different. Are you getting? Okay. So here keys are case sensitive. Okay, so it is different here. Now I am trying to read some URL. Okay, I'm trying to read, I'm reading this key. You can see my.db.url. By mistake, I gave URLs, typing mistake. Okay, URLs is not there. Trying to run this, it is taking the value itself. But in Spring Boot, it is going to throw some exception. But in Spring, it has taken itself as a value. Are you getting the point? Okay, it is treating that is only, it is actually trying to find, it's not there. So that is, this is only, it is taking like a value, hard coded value. Okay, that is actually bug in Spring, but in Spring Boot, it is actually resolved. It will throw exception by saying URLs not found. Okay, so that is actually, I can say it's not working properly in Spring. Okay, these are all string types, right? Okay, let me take some int data type, int, private, int, code. When you add any variable, please remove toString method and regenerate one more time. Otherwise, you can't see output. Go to test class and run this program. No value, so default value 0. Okay, just I'm writing here. Okay, my dot grade dot id is equals to 240. I'm just taking this key, trying to read at the rate value. I'm just giving dollar like this. Trying to run this program. I got 240. So what is the great thing? You gave value, it has come. Now look at 240. Yes, I'm just giving. Can we store this number in int? Are you getting my point? Can you store this value in int data type? I am running this application. What it is saying here? Internally, now listen very carefully. Key is a string type. Key is what type? Value also string type by default, whatever you give. Sir, I gave 240. That is also string only. Are you getting? That is also string only. Then based on the data type, see what is the data type here? So at the rate value will try to do parsing internally. So internally at the rate value will try to do parse. If the parsing failed, you will see this exception. I think you know what is the exception. Okay, that's actually try to do here. Now I'm just giving the point. Okay, I'm just giving here. Auto parsing is supported based on variable data type. By default, key and value both are string data type. That is, okay, app.sid is equals to 200. App.sid is string. 200 is string. Really, yes. That's by default string. Internally, parsing will be done. Okay, if we give wrong data type data, it will throw exception. I'm not giving this point because you know that internal parsing is there, means if you give wrong, it is going to be. So finally, it is throwing some unsatisfied dependency. You can see. Okay, always read caused by. Clearly, you will see type mismatch, data type mismatch, come down, caused by number format exception. I'm not giving any notes for this. I hope you know this clearly. Integer dot parseInt. Okay, now this is at the rate value related points here. Okay, so that's actually reading the properties file, loading the properties file, reading the data from Spring container. That's actually environment memory. Okay, so here now let me give a full application. Full example. One properties file. I'll give this folder structure also. Second, Spring config input. Some additional configuration we wrote here. Third, Spring Bean plus annotation configuration. Fourth, a test class. I'll use this folder structure also. Okay. Okay, I'm not including POM. This is a file. Okay, remaining your wish. Whatever the package that you create. Yeah, all these images and notes I'll upload. You need not to write anything. Okay, but just download this and read this. Okay, so here, let me continue. Okay, so just I'm revising for a second. At the rate component scan, we'll try to scan the classes from the package given. Same package, sub package. At the rate component, creating the object. At the rate value, we can do hard code, but not a good approach. Direct value. We can read the data from resources. Okay. In real time, programmer data like database config, cache config, email config, some data required to start the application will be given from here, dot properties. I'll show dot YML also later. Okay. Spell also will come later. This is not used much, very rare. At the time of auto wiring, I'll show here. Okay, so why are we using at the rate properties file? I just mentioned. Okay, and points to remember here. Okay, and additional notes. Okay, that's actually programming points here. What it is actually doing here. At the rate property source is used to load this file. Spring container will create the environment memory. That's a standard environment here. Okay, and this is a syntax to read the data. Okay. It will even continue in Spring Boot also. Before starting Spring Boot, I'm just giving all this. In Spring Boot, you need not to write in Spring Boot. You need not to write component scan. You need not to write property source. You need not to write some configuration. You need not to install any server. Okay, first if I show some Spring concepts so that I can say in Spring Boot it is not required, auto configured, then you will understand. Okay, What is automated? If you want to know, you should know that what is manual. Okay, then you'll understand what is automated. That's the point actually I'm trying to give here. Okay, now next important thing, look at carefully. Next important thing, linking two objects. You remember reference type? Okay, that is equivalent annotation here is @auto void. The most important concept in Spring and Spring Boot. One second. Sorry, we'll continue. So here observe @auto void. It's a very big concept. First, I will show its basic purpose today, and tomorrow we even continue here. Yeah, this is Spring annotation. Okay, this is chapter number 1 only we are discussing, Nagraj. Okay, this is chapter number 1 only, Spring. Still, we did not enter into Spring Boot. What are all available in Spring, also available in Spring Boot. Okay, Spring Boot even makes easy to write the code. It says don't write some points even. Okay. Now let me continue. Please listen. Okay. First, you should understand the relation called association mapping. Okay. Inheritance, you know. Java mainly supports two relations. Inheritance. Okay. Connect classes using extends, or of course implements keyword. Okay, this is also called as is a relation, a core Java concept. Between class to class, we use extends keyword. Between interface to interface, extends only. Okay, so between class and interface. Okay, so parent is interface and child is class. Okay, then we are going to use implements. Just a basic point for confirmation I'm just giving. Okay, if the child is interface and parent is class, child is interface, parent is class, it's not possible in Java. Okay, that's actually not possible. If parent is class and child is interface, that's not possible here. Okay, so here now association mapping. Okay, so composition and aggregation, two subcategory. Every association is by default aggregation. If you don't know what are these, once we go to Hibernate, I will show what is association, what is aggregation, and composition. Association with a loose relation is actually called aggregation. Association with a tight relation is actually called composition. Okay, you may not understand now. If you learn in Core Java, happy, or else wait up to JPA concept. Hibernate with JPA concept comes. Okay, as of now, association. Okay, this is called has a relation. What is this one? Okay, so creating one class or interface reference in another class as an instance variable or a variable. Okay, creating one class or interface reference. Okay, of course, internally linked with object only. Okay, inside another class as variable. Okay, still you want clarity, instance variable only. Okay, so we show later how to deal with static. There is a class A or interface B. class C int a I'm writing. Int is a data type, a is a variable. In the same way, I'm just writing something id a oa. A is actually a class, but here it's a data type only, and oa is a variable. Using a class as a data type and creating the variable, okay, is actually called what relation? Has a relation. And of course, I'm just creating B and I'm writing OB. It is also called has a relation. Okay. Creating one class or interface reference inside another class. Okay. That's simple point, has a relation. It's a core Java. So C is actually dependent. OB is dependency. A is dependent with zero dependencies or independent. I guess starting words. C is depending on OB, dependency, dependent, dependency, independent. Okay, in the starting videos I gave, in the demo videos, you can check it once. Okay, now the point is actually, okay, I want to create A object, I want to create C object, and I want to link them. Already we did, but XML, I want annotation. Look at the point. Look at the point. There is a class. Okay, my repository. You know how to inform Spring container to create the object by using annotation. Which annotation I should add here? Okay, so that container creates the object. Everyone give reply using chat box. Don't sit silent. Yeah, I am writing @component. If you don't give object name, fine. It will take class name, first letter, object name. Okay, so @component. Okay, so no, not repository now. We know only component, right? Nagaraj repository also correct, but we'll come to later of that. Okay, there is actually a class called my service. Okay, so as of now, we know only single annotation, right? Here also I'm writing one annotation @component. Object name is optional. Okay, I am creating association relation between these. Okay, my repository repo. Okay, I took my repository class as a data type, created one variable or reference variable. This is called what relation here? What is the relation? Has a relation. So if you look at what Spring container will do, Spring container will create my repository object. Spring container will create my service object. Okay, and I want to link them. Okay, if you remember XML, we wrote ref tag. Okay, here I want to link them. So here I am going to write one annotation. Here I'm going to write one annotation, ref tag. Okay, in XML we have seen. Okay, so I am writing one annotation @auto void. Ref not required. We don't use now. Okay, @auto void. Okay, but it's not a simple. It has a lot of points to discuss. The first usage of @auto void is to link the objects. In case of has a relation is there, okay, it's actually linking or injecting all its dependencies. Are you getting the point? Injecting all its dependencies into dependent class. That's dependency injection. Okay, so initially we have seen the definition. So if you look at what it is actually going to be, the object name will be my repository. The object name, first letter lowercase, my service. Okay, here the variable name is repo. The default value will be null. When you write auto wire, okay, when you write auto wire, it says null should be removed and this should be injected. But auto wire has lot of points. If object is not there, what will happen? If two objects are there, what will happen? If five objects are there, how can I say this one only? Like multiple concepts are there. Ramesh SK, please disable your webcam. Okay, that you will occupy the space at screen. Okay, you need not to enable your screens. Okay, keep your device and all in the mute. Okay. So the first point of auto wiring I'm saying here, @auto-wide annotation is used to inject its dependency data or object. In simple, okay, find object and link with, find required object or child object, link with current class object. That's the point. Okay, linking the objects, but they should contain one relation. What is the relation? Has a relation. Okay, but we have multiple points to discuss here. It's not over. What happens if this not object is not there? Case number one. What happen if object is there? What happen if multiple objects are there? Three cases are there. 0 objects found, 1 object found, multiple objects found. Okay, so I'll show 2 cases today. Okay, with programmatical output. Let us see first case, a positive scenario. Okay, is that created properly or not? Let us check. Getting the point? Okay, so here now I am just creating one more application. File new other Maven. Okay, next. Always remember, whatever I write, whatever I teach, I'm showing programmatical output. Okay, that is actually learning. Okay, you also practice the program. Spring Core auto wide basic EX. Some people will teach 200 points and they'll write 2 programs. Okay, they say remaining you practice. What is there? Same thing you write, it will come. Okay, but I want to show that live. Okay, don't believe me, believe program. Okay, that is important. Okay, a programmer is the one who write the code, not the theory. Okay, so here some people may not like more coding part, but that is only required. Once you go to company, what you will do? You will sing a song, a nice Hindi song. I don't know actually, I can sing, but okay, I can only sing Java code only. Okay, write a program, write a variable, then link with object, like that only I can sing. That's a problem. Okay, so observe, I'm just doing auto wiring. I wrote same code, I'm just writing. Okay, my repository com.app.repo. Dummy data, I'm just writing @component to create the object, @value, hard coding this data. Okay, sample. Here you understand only about auto wiring. I think you know what is the meaning of this code. Just creating the object, providing the data. This is hard coding. Yeah, I'm not passing any data from properties file. No dollar symbol. Okay. Second, I am creating a class, my service. Private. This is my repository. It's a repo, has a alt shift S and S. What is the annotation we have to write? @auto wide. Go and search for my repository object. Take this object and inject here. Okay, if I read my service object and print, it should also print my repository object. Are you getting the point? Two objects should be printed. That's the output. I'm just checking. Okay, so here in the test class, okay, we have to write a config class. I'm writing a class, my app config. What is the base package? Yeah, components can only. What is the base package? What is the common package for all? Common name. This is a common name, right? Okay, that's a good approach. Always we follow like that. Okay, com.app. That means go and search the classes in this package or sub package. Okay, no properties file, nothing. I am writing a test class. My app config.class. What is the object name? I did not give any object name. Then object name will be class name, first letter, lowercase, camel case rule. By default, it will not take any package, Nagaraj. It will not take any package. It won't find any classes. Yesterday, I gave already. If I don't write this anything, okay, it won't take any default package. But once we go to Spring Boot, okay, I'll show what is the default package. Once you go to Spring Boot, in the main class, whatever the package is there, that it will take. In Spring, nothing, no default base package. Good point. Okay, I think I gave no default base package is given by Spring Core or Spring. You must mention one package name explicitly. Sure, 100%. Sysout OB control F11 or control Fn plus F11. So my service is also connected with my repository. Following everyone? So if I don't write auto wire, what is the default value? Null, right? Okay. So now see, this actually came, output has come. Okay, let me give code up to this because this is a bit important. I'll give package structure also. Later, I'll share all these projects as a single zip. Once I finish this chapter, I'll share all these things. Meanwhile, I'm just giving this nodes and folder structure. Auto wide, not wire. IRED. Okay, IRED. One spring beans. My repository. Wait, it's not over. I'm just giving this code. My service. Spring config file. This is to give base package. It's a test class. Okay. See, I hope you will give answer. @auto void is actually, when you write this, it is asking repository need one object, my repository object, asking Spring container, can you give my repository object? Yes. So it is linking. If I don't write @auto void, can you tell me what will happen? Let us go and try to test. I think you should give answer. No, I am just running this. What is the value here? Null. Now listen very carefully. I am writing at the rate auto void. I am writing at the rate auto void. Listen carefully. Okay, yeah, null only. Correct. Right answer. Okay, it's null only. Okay, I am writing at the rate auto void, but object is not there. At the rate component I'm commenting. Please look at. Now object is present. My repository object is present, but we wrote still what at the rate. I am saying, hey, please link. Okay, please link service object and repository object, but repository object is not there. Okay, so here, so I am saying, please link service object and repository. At the rate auto void is present, but there are 0 objects of my repository. Are you getting the point? 0 objects present. Okay, I am trying to run this application. Do you think still null will come? Okay, I am trying to run this program, throwing some exception. Okay, it is saying no such bean definition exception, no qualifying bean of my repository. It is saying I am not able to get my repository. Expected at least one bean. See how clearly it is saying, how clearly it is giving message. Sometimes you may not propose to one candidate this much clearly. You can't say I love you this much clearly. So it is saying, hey, really, I like my repository, but you did not give. How clarity it is giving message. Look at expected at least one bean, okay, which qualifies auto-wire candidate. Okay, to qualify the auto-wire, I want, okay, dependency annotation here. Okay, so at the rate auto-wire says, definitely I want one object. No, I will not give. Okay, I will not run the application. I'll throw exception. Are you getting the point? Okay, so from here, oh yeah, it's a no such object found. Okay, so actually we have to see 3 cases. Today I gave only 1 case. Okay, what if 0 cases and what if multiple cases? I'll continue from tomorrow. Tomorrow I may take some bit lengthy session. Okay, Saturday. Okay, I'll take some, not much, just 15 to 20 minutes more. Okay, I'll be taking some lengthy session. Practice up to this. Yeah, from here, from this exception case, I'll continue tomorrow. Okay, I think you understood up to this positive scenario. If objects found, linking done. Okay, that exception scenario, I'll continue from tomorrow. Okay, so if you get while doing practice any exceptions, please note down my email ID and send it to me. I'll definitely give reply. Okay, sometimes it may get delayed, but I'll sure give reply. javabyRug@gmail.com. No, auto-void will link the object. At the rate component will create the object. Just 1 second. 1 second. If you don't have any questions, you can leave for the day. I'll post this notes. Okay, in the Ashok IT website, you can just continue that here. Okay, Lokesh, that last point I'll continue tomorrow. I just wanted to show. Okay, you practice up to this. I don't want to confuse by giving that. I'll show tomorrow. Don't worry. Okay, 232, 31 lines of content I gave. You read that today. That's more sufficient. Okay, so thank you everyone. Continuation we see in tomorrow's class. Please note down this email ID. You have any questions, ask, or else you can leave. Yeah, have a great day.